Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look and installing the Curt 4-pole trailer wiring harness for a 2023 Honda CR-V. Adding 4-pole trailer wiring to your vehicle means that you're going to be able to tow a trailer by giving the light sequence from the vehicle from your 4-pole to the trailer, giving you running lights, turn signals, and brake lights, letting the people behind you know what you're intending to do. So this is required if you do plan on pulling a trailer. And this one is actually pretty easy to do. There should be a factory plug that you're going to plug into and then just pop a fuse into a fuse holder. And this is going to live outside the vehicle only when you are going to be hooking up to the trailer. When you're not using it, you can simply lift open your hatch and put it in the spare tire compartment, and then it's out of the way. Now, keep in mind that this is only available for the all-wheel drive models, as they have that plug-in from the factory to be able to snap this into place. And during the installation, we also found that you may need to add an extra fuse that's not included in the kit, but I've gone ahead and showed you exactly what you need and where it needs to go. To begin our installation, we're going to open up our hatch, and we're going to pull up our cover here just to give us a little access to be able to pull off our panel. And ultimately, our plug is going to live back here, but we want to take off our center scuff panel, and that way we can peel this plastic back. And they do kind of interlock here, so to pull this up, pretty easy. Just work on each side. You're just going to want to lift up straight, and then I'll go to this outside here. And that comes off pretty easily. We're going to peel this back, and there's going to be a series of clips. There's 1, 2, and 3 up here. So just kind of pry on these spots if you can. Try your best not to flex your plastic. You don't want to leave marks in there. Now, as I reach up here, you're going to see a ground wire go a little bit above that, few inches, and you're going to feel some wire loom, but there is going to be a plug attached to it. It's kind of got a reddish-orange tape to it. So we'll just peel that tape back to get our plug out. And that's kind of what our plug should look like, which is going to work well with our wiring harness. So I'll grab our wiring harness and get this plugged in. Make sure this snaps in. And before we get everything kind of mounted up, we're going to go ahead and get our fuse in our fuse holder. And then we can cap that up. And at this point, we can go ahead and get everything mounted up. We do want to take our 4-pole wiring, and I'm just going to route it to where we can store it here in the spare tire cavity, and that way when we do need to use it, we can drape it over this weather stripping here. But in order to get this mounted up, there is double-sided tape. You could find a flat surface and do that. I always recommend using some zip ties and finding some factory wire loom to just zip it up, and that way it's not going to be rattling around as you drive. So I'll get this cleaned up and show you how it looks. Now, I've gone ahead and just zip tied our bundle up here with our module and fuse holder onto that factory wire loom. This is going to be a good spot because this will kind of hold it in place, but also you're not going to have any clearance issues. So at this point, just make sure your 4-pole is routed kind of under here. You don't want it getting caught up in your tow hook or your your luggage hook here. So just kind of tuck this back in place, and we'll just pop everything in and get everything back to where we had it from the factory, just in that reverse order that we removed everything. Now, before we hit the road and hook up to our trailer and start towing, we do want to test to make sure that our trailer wiring is working properly. So we're using a 4-pole tester here. We have them available at eTrailer. It's really nice because it keeps it specific to the vehicle. If you don't have one of these and you still need to test your wiring, you can hook it up to your trailer and run through your light functions on the vehicle and just make sure they transmit to the trailer. Now, we went to test our lights and they weren't working. We weren't getting a signal on our tester. And so we checked the factory fuse box underneath the dash here, and we found that there was not a fuse in the fuse marked YOP trailer. Now, I've gone ahead and put our mini fuse, our 20 amp in, and I put a small little red dot with our paint marker so you can see exactly where it's at. You do want to check to make sure to see if yours has it. If not, if you pick up one of these fuses, put that in. That should give you all your light sequences. Now, running through our light sequence, we can go ahead and do our running lights, our left turn signal, our right turn signal, and then finally our brakes. And that was a look and installation of the Curt 4-pole trailer wiring harness on a 2023 Honda CR-V.